Hey there, it's Susan with Waste Paper Pros, here to do in my mailbox for you. I got an insane amount of books this week. I'm thrilled because not only did I get a ton of books, I got a ton of good titles. I am so overwhelmed right now, I have no idea what to start reading next. Let's just start from the beginning. I went shopping and I bought a couple of books. One, because my book fairy mandated that I buy it because she told me that if I didn't buy Hunger by Michael Grant, which is part of the Phase series, she told me that she wasn't going to send me Lies, which is the third book, so I bought it. It's right here. See? Hunger. I also got Rachel Kane's next one, the Kiss of Death, which is part of the Morganville Vampire series. I like this one. It's got a pink spine. That's different for this series because the rest of the series is black, with the exception of the first book. The first book's blue, so I like a little color. It's festive. I also got Kiss in Time, which is by Alex Lynn, and this is by the same author who wrote Beastly, and I like this concept. It's a little different. It's sort of a fairy tale retelling, and I'm excited to read it. I've heard really good things about it, and it sounds interesting, but I don't know much about it beyond that, so excited to read this. I also bought a copy of Thief Eyes by Janie Lee Simner. She wrote Bones of Fairy, and I'm a big fan of that book. It was just so amazingly different for a fairy book that it blew my mind. So I had to buy this one because I figure, you know, her first book was good, give the second one a go. And Lindsay over at Narratively Speaking decided she wanted to send me gifts this week, which, who am I to turn down gifts, right? So I got this in the mail Monday, I think. It came really fast. I got it in like 3 days from England, so that was extremely shocking for me. But she sent me a UK copy of Shiver, straight from the UK. Yay! It didn't come from Book Depository, so it's really a UK Shiver. I like the cover on this one, which is really why I wanted it. I'm not as big of a fan of the UK Linger cover. I don't think the black, white, and red works as well, but I really like it on the Shiver. I think it's dark and creepy and ominous, and now I have a copy all for myself. I also got a random package from Penguin during the middle of the week. They sent me a giant box that had 9 books in it. 9 books. And I have to tell you, 5 of them, whew, amazing. These are the first 4, and I'm interested in them, but they're not really my genre. My genre is more paranormal, supernatural, creepy, suspense type books. So here are the first 4. First, I got Paisley Hanover Kisses and Tells, and I think this is the second in a series. I don't really know much about it because it seems like chick lit to me, or like, you know, a guilty pleasure kind of read, and I don't really know much about it. So if anybody's read the first book and you can tell me whether I need to read them in order, let me know, because then I'll pick up the first book and I'll read that first. I also got My Double Life by Jeanette Rallison. This sounds like a cute read. Again, it's kind of not really my genre, but I'll go ahead and give it a try. Like I said, it sounds cute. It's a case of mistaken identity book. So, of course, there's a girl who is standing in for another girl, and things go horribly wrong, and hilarity ensues. So, I'll give that a chance. I also got Faithful by Janet Fox. I've talked to Janet. She's lovely. I don't know terribly much about her book. It's got a beautiful cover. The cover is very pretty. I love anything pastoral, countryside, outdoorsy. So the cover really strikes me, but I don't know a lot about the book. So I'm excited to take a look at that one. I also got Plus by Veronica Chambers. I know a lot of people got this book a long time ago, like a few weeks back, a month ago, and so if anybody's read it and has an opinion, please let me know, because, again, it's a book I don't know a lot about. And now, on to the books that I do know a lot about, because, honestly, these books over here, they're amazing. I don't even know how I scored all of them in 1 week. It's just enough to die over. First and foremost, Sea by Heidi Kling. I love the cover of this book. It's pretty, it's wistful, it's beautiful, and I've heard wonderful things about the book, so I can't wait to read this. I'm just glad that I got a copy, because I honestly didn't think that I was going to. So, I also got A Love Story Starring My Dead Best Friend by Emily Horner, and this book has a musical in it called Totally Sweet Ninja Death Squad. Who would not read this book? Seriously. Totally Sweet Ninja Death Squad. That's all you need to know. And then the prettiest cover, I think, in YA right now is The Replacement. You see this? A baby carriage with sharp implements hanging over it, and it's described as Edward Scissorhands meets The Catcher in the Rye. Again, what more do you need to know about this book? It's by Brenna Jovanoff, and I think it's going to be amazing. I've heard a ton about it. I've heard great reviews. I'm extremely excited for this one. I also got The Eternal Ones by Kirsten Miller, and this is sort of an old soul's soulmate kind of book, and I love reading about that type of thing. I'm excited to see what she does with it, because I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard some people, you know, they like it, but it's not the end-all be-all of books, and then I've heard other people say that it was really good and that they would read it over and over and over again. So I want to see what camp I fall into. I also got Nightshade by Andrea Creamer. This book has gotten so much buzz that I've seen a couple of people who've gotten copies, and I was so envious, and now I have my very own. Isn't it beautiful with the blood on the flower? And the cover is just very striking, and I'm so thrilled to read it, because I love werewolf novels, I love vampire novels, anything that falls into that paranormal realm, and this is a werewolf novel that I think I can really get into. So, lastly, I got a package from my book fairy, and she sent me some amazing titles too. First of those is Firelight by Sophie Jordan. And this is the first in a series, I think, and it's about dragons, and you don't really read much about dragons unless they're part and party to an epic fantasy. So I'm excited to read a book that's actually about dragons. I have Carrie Vaughn's Voice of Dragons, and I was excited to see that too for the same reason, but I haven't had an opportunity to read it yet. But really wish there were more good dragon books out there that were not just, hey, there's a dragon in the book, that were about dragons. But again, it's not, as far as I know, it's not high fantasy, so I'm excited to read this as well. I also got Ascendant by Diana Peterfriend. I read the first book of this, and when I saw the blurb on it, it was sold, because deadly unicorns. Again, all I needed to know to buy that book, and it proved to be worth the blurb. You know, it lived up to the blurb. So I'm excited to read this one as well, because this is the second book in that series. And last, but certainly not least, because I don't think there's a least in these books at all, I read the first couple of pages of this book when I got it. It has a rhinestone pink taser, a very sassy girl, vampires, and other supernatural creatures, and I can't wait to read more of it as soon as I finish what I'm reading now. This may very well be next in line, despite the fact that it doesn't come out until later this fall. Paranormal Sea by Kirsten White. I don't even know what to say, because look at all these great books that I got, and Paranormal Sea, and Firelight, and Ascendant, and Nightshade. I don't even know where to start. So tell me what you got in your mailbox.